What's going on, everybody? My name is Austin Ariel. I am the Kia King, and we're saying goodbye to the Forte at last. If you guys have seen it recently, Kia has unveiled the upcoming K4, which is going to be the Forte's replacement. So the Forte is really not going anywhere. It's just being renamed. So today I want to show you the 2024 Kia Forte before it gets to the redesign and the new name. So this specific one is a 2024 Forte. This is a GT trim, so this is the performance trim with the turbocharged motor. And this one happens to be a dual clutch model, and it's got the GT2 trim package option. So this is as fully loaded of a Forte as you can get. And today I want to show you what you get for the money. Now, for those of you who do not know, I work here at Carriage Kia of Woodstock, and I love putting out content regarding Kia, the brand, all information regarding their vehicles and their lineup. So if you guys are new to the channel, definitely think about subscribing if you like to stay up to date with content regarding Kia. And if you're already subscribed, then thank you for coming to my channel. I really appreciate the support, and hopefully you guys continue to like this content. So if you do end up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate the support. It helps me continue to make videos like this for cars that you guys really enjoy. All right, so the first stop on the Forte is going to be the front end. So the GT is going to be their flagship trim. It is their performance trim that they did actually start basing off of the Kia Stinger GT, which is great. So you have vehicles like the Forte GT, the K5 GT, you've got the EV6 GT, and you even have an upcoming EV9 GT, which is really cool. So GT does signify Kia's high performance models now. With this GT trim, you do have the satin garnish here. You've got red and black grille inserts, which is nice. The GT emblem there. You have a full LED headlight. They are reflector housings, and then your indicators are going to be these LED strips here. Let me actually click those so you can see, but these also double as your daytime running lights, which is really nice. You've got black and red trim at the base of the bumper, a bunch of intakes at the lower portion because this is powered by a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. You've got about 201 horsepower. It's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is nice. And then with this being the GT2 model, you are going to have radar cruise control. So that's what that square is over there. The Kia emblem there, and then the hood, which looks very similar to other Forte hoods. They didn't deviate too far for this trim. And then over here, you are going to have this little section here, which is actually a true pass-through in the bumper. That way you get better aerodynamics and even brake cooling if you do want to drive this thing spiritedly. All right, so let's talk about the wheel set here. So this is the GT specific wheel. It is an 18-inch wheel. You're working on a 225/40 R18 series tire made by Kumho. So this is going to be a sportier tire that they pretty much put on these Forte GTs. You do have a red and black center cap, which is nice and sporty. And you have this dual machined and painted finish, which really looks sporty, really looks nice. It's cohesive, it's not overstyled. All right, so let's talk about the key system with the Forte. So you do have this black button on the door handle. You just press it and you can lock the car so that way nobody gets in. And then you can also press it and it unlocks. Super easy. The key fob also has remote start, so all you have to do is press the lock button. Even if your car's been locked, press the lock button, and then within 5 seconds, press and hold the hold button with a circle on it. So you'll press and hold. You'll see the hazards flash. Starts right on up. The car stays locked, so that way nobody can break into it. And then all you have to do is just press the black button on the door handle, get inside, and drive off. That's it. Now, as we get to the back of the Forte, you're going to notice this little red pillar here. It's a reflector, but they did style it after the K5, which is really nice. This Forte body style was a refresh based off of the 2019/2020 year model Forte. So in the back here, you are going to have things like incandescent bulbs for your indicators down here. Your reverse lights are down here, and then this is going to be an LED housing for your rear running lights and your brake lights as a whole. Now, with this being a GT2 packaged car, you do get rear parking sensors, which is nice. You do have dual exhaust tips on the GT models. You do have the red and black garnish in the lower bumper trim. I'm not going to call this a true valence, but you do have that there. It's really stylish, looks great. GT badging on the back, and then you do have a reverse camera as well. And then the trunk opening button is actually kind of hidden here, but it's to the right of the actual camera button, but you just press it and it releases the trunk. And then you do have the black spoiler. It's a little lip spoiler here on top, but it still looks great. And then you will have the smart trunk feature, which I've made a video on in some of my other videos. But essentially, you come back from shopping and the car is locked. You just stand behind it for a few seconds and the trunk pops open on its own. It's really nifty. You do have that on this Forte. All right, so let's take a step into the cabin of the Forte. So you'll see the light and everything adjust, but you do have these leather seats that are black with red piping. You've got GT embossed in the top of the seat. You've got the power driver's seat there, which is really nice to have. Over here to the left of the steering wheel, you are going to have your blind spot detection, traction control, and you're going to have your illumination settings for the gauge cluster. It's going to be really hard to see in the daytime, but you can get accent lighting here in the actual door behind these little bubbles. It's really, really nice. And then, of course, you've got your standard switchgear there that you would expect. In the door card, you've got all your power buttons, your window safety switch for your kids, and then, of course, the actual handles in the satin silver trim here. Make note that your lights are going to be fully automatic there. And this one being a DCT model, you are going to have paddle shifters to upshift and downshift. The steering wheel is not going to be heated in the Forte. They do not have that as an option, but you can see you've got all of your standard switchgear that you would expect for your infotainment. And then on the right hand side, your lane safety systems, your button for your adaptive cruise control. And then you can see in this lower stack here, you've got your heated and ventilated seats for the front seats, drive mode selector, and on the right-hand side, you see you've got your parking camera button right down here. So that way you can activate the rear parking camera if you're going under 10 miles an hour. You move forward and you see you do have a wireless charging pad down there. And this wants to, there you go. So you can focus there. And then your dual zone climate controls are over there. It still has the protective cover from the factory, but you do have a digital readout. And then up here, you do have the 10.25-inch display with in-car navigation, which is always really, really nice. And let's not forget, you've got quiet mode to turn off the rear speakers, Bluetooth, you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Granted, it is not wireless. You still have to plug it in through the USB ports down there. Looking at the analog gauge cluster, so you can see it goes up to 160. And yeah, I mean, it's a very simple layout, but it's analog. It's really nice. It's very customary for what you'd want in a performance sedan. And then you can see you do get the sunroof on this model. Looking upwards, you are going to have things like an electronic parking brake down here. So that's what that guy is. And then you have auto hold. So that way you can actually have the car hold the brake pedal for you while you're in drive. So that's something really, really nice to have. And then let's actually unlock the back seat and take a look back here. So full bench, as you would expect. Leather continues. You do have rear vents for the rear passengers back here. And then you do have a USB port down there at the bottom. So that way you can charge any device that you might need to. Outside of that, you can see the door card here, little cup holder area, and then your window switches. So overall, it's a very, very nice sedan to have. Performance is great. And then really nice if you want to, you know, go on spirited drives without hurting the wallet. But yeah, let's take a peek here, going around the car. Overall, it's really, really pretty. And I'm not even sure if I mentioned earlier, but you do have those LED lights built down there. Those are awesome, especially using them as fog lights, going around the car as well. Just a really, really pretty design. Not saying the K4 doesn't look amazing, but As this being the outgoing design, it is a fantastic looking vehicle. Now, if you open up the trunk, you're going to see it's a pretty standard trunk. I mean, you're not going to see much different here. You have tabs, so that way if you actually do want to pull down the rear seats, you can. And that's going to be on both sides here, so don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Underneath all these carpeted floor mats and such, you are going to have a spare tire. So don't forget about that. A lot of people are asking about spare tires. You will have that in the Forte GT. And I'm sure you're seeing those speakers. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this car does have the Harman Kardon surround sound system. So you can see the speaker grills right down there. Harman Kardon, it's a fantastic audio system. One of my favorites. So like I said earlier, this is powered by a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. You got 201 horsepower, made it to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. You can expect roughly about 35 miles a gallon on the highway with this thing. So chances are you might not get that if you want to drive this thing spirited like most of our clients do, as these vehicles are very, very fun to drive. And that's kind of what Kia wanted to implement when building the Forte GT. This specific one stickers at $28,270. So even as a car under $30,000, you're getting things like leather, heated ventilated seats, Harman Kardon surround sound, sunroof, parking sensors, LED lighting all the way around, adaptive cruise control, lane safety systems galore. So it's really a fantastic value for what you're getting. And you can have fun in a vehicle as well. So it's all around a fantastic package. And I'm very curious to see what you guys think, especially as the Forte is going out. And now we're starting to get the Kia K4, which is supposed to land, Kia is saying, at the end of 2024. Here at the dealership, we don't have any indication. So if that question arises, I'm just telling you that now. But as time passes on, I might be able to answer comments about the Forte or upcoming K4. And so that is the 2024 Kia Forte GT model with the GT2 package. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from it. And if you guys have any questions about the vehicle, please leave them in the comments below. I'll answer any that I get. And if I don't know it, I'll look it up and I'll try to find it for you. But yeah, it's a fantastic vehicle. And again, I hope you liked the content. So if you did, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to stay up to date on anything and everything Kia. And saying that, this is the Kia King, and I'm out.